Hey there. So you've already seen several of the elements of the five-step formula for a profitable online business. And now I want to talk to you about another crucial element, and that is monetization. Now, oftentimes people think that to have a monetization strategy, an actual strategy that will lead to long-term sustainable profit, they think that you can just pitch one BizOp over and over and over again. Well, I'm here to tell you that that's not really a successful, long-term, sustainable monetization strategy. So you might be wondering, well, what do I need to have a monetization strategy that will lead to enormous profits? And I'm going to tell you. The first thing that you need is multiple streams of income. That's right, multiple streams of income. Now, you wouldn't walk into a grocery store and expect them just to sell broccoli, would you? No, grocery stores sell multiple different products based upon the different shoppers and what they need at that time. Well, having a business portfolio that has multiple streams of income in it is a similar concept. You need to have multiple different things that people can buy based upon their needs, their interests, and the pains they have in their business. In essence, you're going to have multiple solutions for all the different types of people that will come around and see your offers. So obviously, multiple streams of income is crucial to have in your business to attract various different buyers and various different customers who might have different needs, wants, or pains. Now, the next thing that you need is a tiered product mix. Now, what I mean by tiered product mix is having products that range in price. For example, you might have a $7 product. Then that leads to a $49 product, which leads to a $97 product, which leads to $297, $497, $997. I think you get the picture, right? This tiered product mix is also what we call a value ladder, meaning that the value of the products go up and up and up. They start off very inexpensive. As your prospects and leads come to your site and they see the different products that you have, they're obviously going to range in price. So the prospect or lead will start off spending a very small amount with you at first. They'll start off spending $7. Now, you'll make a very small amount of money on that $7 product. But as they start spending more and more money on the tiered ladder that you have of products, $49, then $97, then $197, $297, and on, the amount of commission or profit that you're making per unit sold ratchets up for you as well. So by having this tiered product mix, you're putting yourself in a much better position to earn profit for your business and have a long-term, sustainable, profitable business. So for example, what you're going to experience with this value ladder or with this tiered product mix is that the majority of your leads and prospects will buy the entry-level product, that $7 product or the $19 product. You're going to have a majority of your people buying that, right? Because it's a low cost of entry. And then as the ladder goes and the products get more and more expensive, you'll have less people purchasing those products, but the amount of profit that you're making per product as they go up the value ladder increases. So towards the end or towards the top of this value ladder, you might only have 10 or 20% of your people actually buying those higher end products, but they're what ultimately lead to the majority of your profit. Now, the third and final thing that you need to have in a monetization strategy is what we call a profit maximizer. So imagine that you are in a lower tier affiliate program where all you had were $39 or $150 or $300 products. You can imagine there's not a lot of profit you can make per unit sold on a $39 product or a $59 product or a $97 product. So you need to introduce the profit maximizer. The profit maximizer is something that's going to be in the realm of $1,000 or $3,000 or $5,000, $10,000 or even more. So the cost that it costs the customer is obviously a lot higher than a $19 product, and you're not going to get nearly as many people buying the profit maximizer. However, the profit maximizer is what ultimately ends up providing the majority of your profit. Right? So it's a back-end offer. Now, back-end offers are not the easiest thing to create. There's a lot of work involved, there's a lot of time and effort, and you have to have a quality back-end offer that actually converts. But once you have that back-end offer, and when you have that profit maximizer, this ultimately ends up being the majority of your profit. Now, the profit maximizer kind of falls into the 80-20 rule that I'm sure you're familiar with. Now, the 80-20 rule says that 80% of the results, or 80% of the productivity, or 80% of your sales, in this case, typically come from 20% of the customers, right? Now, with the profit maximizer, what that means is that 80% of your profit is really coming from 20% of your buyers, or in some cases even less, maybe 5 or 10% of your buyers. But in the absence of that profit maximizer, you're leaving significant amounts of money on the table. So a real monetization strategy will have a profit maximizer that includes products that cost $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, even $15,000, $20,000, or $30,000. And you're making a good amount of profit off of any particular unit sold within that profit maximizer. So to sum it up, what you need are 3 things to have a really effective and profitable monetization strategy. You need A, multiple streams of income to provide multiple different solutions to all the various different leads and prospects that are going to come to check out your offers. You're going to need B, a tiered products mix, right? A tiered product mix that has the value ladder, where things start off low and start getting higher and higher and higher in price as your customers, leads, and prospects become more interested in what you have to offer them. And finally, C, you need to have a profit maximizer. That profit maximizer is what's going to ultimately provide the majority of profit that you earn. Even though only a small amount of your customers will actually buy the profit maximizer, that profit maximizer is that back-end offer that really will fulfill, from a profit standpoint, what you really need to have. So now that you understand the fundamentals of an effective monetization strategy, I'm going to talk to you about the 3 things that you need to actually increase profits. The very first thing you need to do is you could actually increase the number of clients that you have. This is why earlier I talked about having multiple income streams. By having multiple different streams of income and multiple different options for your leads and prospects, you can actually increase the number of clients that you have, because you'll have lots of different options that they could take advantage of. Imagine if you only had one single product. You're probably not going to have that many people become interested in it, because maybe it's interesting to some people but not others. But if you have multiple streams of income and multiple products, you can actually increase the number of clients that you have and thereby increase your profits. The second thing that you need to increase your profits is to increase the frequency of transactions. All right? So instead of just going out and getting a whole bunch more customers, going from 10 clients to 20 clients, you want to have that tiered product mix I talked about and that value ladder, thereby increasing the frequency of transactions from a particular customer. So now, instead of having one customer buy one thing from you, you can have one customer buy 2 or 3 or 4 or even 5 things from you. So by having that tiered product mix and having that value ladder, you can actually increase the frequency of transaction per customer, and that's a great way to also increase your profits. Now, the third and final way to increase your profit is to increase the size of the transaction, and that's why we have the profit maximizer. So again, imagine if you have one customer that just bought one product from you. That's going to be okay, but that might not even cover the cost of your advertising. Well, let's say you had one customer that bought several different products from you, but maybe they bought the $7 thing, the $49 thing, the $97 thing, maybe even the $4.97 thing. Well, that's cool. You've increased the frequency of transaction, but how much have you really done to ratchet up your profit? This is why we need the profit maximizer in place, so you can increase the size of any given transaction. And believe me, when you all of a sudden earn a $3,000 commission on the back end of someone that first bought the $7 thing, then bought the $49, then bought the $97, then they buy something for $3,000, that's how you're really going to increase your profit. And you need the profit maximizer in order to increase that size of the transaction. So in conclusion, you now know that to really increase your profits, you need to increase the amount of customers that you have, you need to increase the frequency of transactions that you have, and finally, you need to increase the size of the transaction that you have. So now that you know how to have an effective monetization strategy to ensure your profits, I want you to stick around for the next video, and we'll dive into some more of the key elements of the formula.